This is Top Gun, fact or fiction. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay. Fact or fiction, you received training from Tom Cruise to play a fighter pilot.
That is true.
Okay. You had to fly F-18s and experience 1,600 pounds of force.
That is also true.
I don't even know how I can't even imagine that. Insane, right?
Yeah, it's not comfortable. 1,600 pounds of force is not, that's just how I had to wake up for a year and a half on this movie. But if you get a chance to be in an F-18, I recommend it. But I'm also very happy to be on the ground and not vomiting every day. Movie's going to be great, but it's there was a lot of meals redonated back on this one.
Obviously, I think we know this, but I'm going to ask you too. Tom Cruise does his own stunts.
I think everyone knows the answer to that one. Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, the cool part is I remember it was one of the first days on set, and we were just finishing the day, and I was talking to him, and he was like, all right, cool, I'm going to get out of here. And we're all going back to a cast van to go back to the hotel. And Tom goes back to his P-51, which is this awesome, like, World War II, fighter plane. And then just, like, takes off into the sunset and just disappears and does, like, a perfect, like, wing up maneuver into the sky. And I'm like, to be Tom Cruise, like, it's the coolest way to leave set in, he's real life Maverick. And that's the cool part about this is when he shot it the first time, he was playing a character, and sort of, I feel like the character and the man have now merged together. Like, the myth and the legend are now one. And now we get to, see it in all its glory. And what we get to do in this movie is so much more than what they got to do in the first one, because it's all practical.
Right. That's awesome. Well, this is a two-parter. Is it true or false that you auditioned to play Goose's son?
That is true.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they loved you so much, they created a character for you, or how did that work?
How that sort of kind of came about is, I mean, look, I've wanted to make this movie my entire life. Top Gun is one of the reasons I became an actor. So losing out on that role was really tough. I usually can distance myself from things enough where I don't really care all that much. But this one hit me right in the heart. And when Tom sort of brought up the idea that they would rewrite some of the script and, kind of create this character from what I did, at first I kind of wasn't really into the idea, because I was, it felt like a girlfriend breaking up with you and then, saying, hey, do you want to get back together? But, like, maybe we can be friends. I was like, I don't know what this feels like. But I got to say, all the promises that Tom made about the role, about what the role could be, what this movie could be, I am so glad I said yes, because this was an opportunity of a lifetime. And to count Tom Cruise as my mentor, as a friend, as a, as a fellow stuntman, a fellow pilot, that whole thing, it's a dream come true.
We're going to knock out two more for you in the fact or fiction. Okay. Your parents.
All right, cool.
Your parents are in the movie? My
parents? Yeah, they're in the movie.
I love that it's a family affair with all of you guys.
Yeah. I got this. Actually, this was a pretty fun deal. I got not only my parents in the movie, I got my little sister. I got probably 10 or 12 friends, maybe even more than that. We had a whole. You can see an Easter egg in this one bar scene. Pretty much all of my friends are in it.
That's awesome.
And my dad is actually extremely featured. I got a text from Tom where he goes, look, I know that you know how to find a lens. I've never met anyone that knows how to find a lens better than your dad. There is no way he gets cut out of this movie.
Your dad's like, I'm going to find it.
Yeah. My dad may have a bigger role than me at this point. I don't know. Yeah.
We'll see in Christmas time where he's at.
Yeah, exactly.
The final one for Fact or Fiction is Tom Cruise paid for you to get your pilot's license after working on Top Gun Maverick as a Christmas gift. Is that true?
Yeah, we, I think Tom sort of secretly hopes that everyone, because look, we're to train for this movie, we trained in this, the Cessna, and then we trained in the Extra 300, which is a little aerobatic plane to get G tolerance up. Then we went to this thing, which is a F-18 trainer called the L-39. And then we flew in the F-18. So you're sort of building up, and you sort of start getting a love for aviation by all this stuff, because you're just surrounded by pilots and the coolest planes. And so I started expressing that I wanted to finish my pilot's license. So for Christmas, he got me all my flights and my training and all that stuff. So I've knocked it out, and I'm a full-blown pilot now.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's pretty damn cool. And for finishing my because I'm training for a car race in the fall, the Baja 1000. So finishing my pilot's license, when he found out I was training for that, as a gift, he got me drift lessons. So I'm learning how to stunt drive cars. So, you know, I'm just following in the man's footsteps one by one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's really a testament to Tom. Is there's not another actor that I've ever met that truly takes that mentor role and like just runs with it, you know, in terms of he feels that you want to learn a new skill or learn about film. I mean, one of my favorite things about Tom is that he knows that I'm just like a geek of movies. I'm a huge cinephile. I love watching movies. I love talking about movies. And so every day on set, we would be talking about, you know, sort of how we were shooting things and how we were sort of approaching certain scenes and the writing. And he would tell me to watch a movie that night, and I'd watch it, and then we talked about it the next day and how it applied to the movie. So I really had a great Tom Cruise film school, in addition to Tom Cruise flying school and stunt school and all those things. So
I was going to say he's a great gift giver, but like for physical things, but I feel like he's given you so much more than that. Like you said, a mentor.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting skill, because, you know, the way he sort of approaches movies is he builds and works on these skills and then gets to throw them in movies. And he looks amazing at it because he's already been working on it for a long time. He is amazing at it. He looks like Maverick in Top Gun because he is Maverick. He's been flying for 30 years. So what's really fun is, for me, at least, working on a lot of these skills, and like, you know, for instance, like learning how to fly. Like when you first get your first bike, right, you can drive away from your house for the first time. Then you get your car, you can drive a little further. Now that I have my pilot's license, like it feels like I can go anywhere. It's a different level of freedom.
How excited do you think audiences are for the film, and how excited are you to finally have it out there? Because it did get pushed back, right?
Yeah, we're now opening Christmas. So after all this is said and done, it's going to be a very nice Christmas gift to the world. I've seen it. It is one of the most incredible movies that people are just not even going to believe what, obviously Tom Cruise has defied expectations and delivered things time after time, but he really outdid himself this time. And the flying sequences, it's emotional, it's romantic, it's fun, it's everything you want in the movies. So I cannot wait to show everybody this Christmas for sure.
Do you remember what it felt like putting those aviators on for the first time?
You know what's funny is I actually got kind of ribbed by everybody on set in the fact that I dress like I'm in Top Gun when I'm not on set. Everybody's like, are you wearing a costume, or is this you? And I'm like, it's me. They're like, okay. So, you know, I was born with aviators on, and I just continue to wear them in this film.
We do see you, and that's an iconic scene from the original, the volleyball scene.
Yeah.
The
yeah,
fans
a lot of
want to
pressure.
know how much baby oil did you use, number one, and how awesome was it when you saw it done?
Look, there's a lot of pressure going into this one. I don't think they realized that scene was going to be super iconic when they shot it the first time. This time we all knew the stakes of, you know, we're all going to have our GIF. You know, we're going to have, like, you know, a moment to flex in this movie. So I actually, the makeup ladies who are in charge of applying all the coconut oil, they had to cut me off at one point. I was too slippery. It just looked too weird. Yeah. You know, I just don't know when to stop. You know, I don't want to be that slippery guy in the montage. Like, why is that guy so greasy and wet?
Yeah.
But it works. It works.
Different film, completely different.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for the work you're doing. And again, a lot of us around the world are trying to do our best to help the frontline workers you've done a lot already so far. How has that been, and who have you brought along with you to start helping and getting that together?
You know what's actually, we just did this motorcycle ride the other day with a bunch of my buddies. Sort of I found out about this charity called Frontline Foods. The best part about it is you can kind of take, you know, two problems and solve it with one, what you basically get to do is you get to pay and, you know, for a meal, support a local restaurant, keep them going, you know, during this crisis. And you also get to feed frontline workers. So what was really fun is I got to, you know, gather a bunch of my fun buddies who are all ride motorcycles. And we got to do sort of like a parade of sorts down through Los Angeles to deliver all these meals, about 250 meals to these frontline workers. So just feed our great doctors and nurses.
Absolutely. What was your response when you were out there? Was it emotional for you, for all of you guys to get up there and knowing what you're going to be doing? Because this is such a weird time right now, but everyone needs the help.
I think the thing that is hard to process for a lot of people is that we're all sort of fighting different battles, you know, whether it's, you know, people in quarantine, whether it's loneliness. Some people, you know, have opened businesses recently and are having trouble paying the rent. They're going to go out of business. But these frontline doctors and nurses are fighting a really horrific, a very tough battle to keep us all alive and safe. And, you know, we just want to do our part. It's important to quarantine. It's important to, you know, flatten the curve. But I think it's also important to make sure that we fuel them in the right way and make sure they feel loved and supported, especially since their battle's a little bit more intense than all the rest of ours.
Absolutely. Every single day they're out there not sure what's going to happen, and they have to protect themselves as well as us. So it's great. I know you would consider them your heroes as well. How did you rally the group together and say, hey, this is what we need to do? Like, how did that come about?
I think what was really actually very interesting is I didn't expect the the immediate like reaction. I think everybody's sort of itching to get out of the house a little bit. And I think the great part about motorcycles is your face is covered and you are definitely over 6 feet apart. So all we had to do was load up these bikes in a truck with some food, and we get to follow the rules, get a little fresh air, and feed some heroes.
Do you get to get out on the bike at all? Or was that just that one moment? Like, how does that even work too?
I mean, look, LA is a very dangerous place to be on a motorcycle. I tend to try to choose my moments sparingly, but right now I'm on the bike all the time. The streets are empty. The weather's beautiful, and you know, it's a great way to, you know, still feel alive right now.